is to have your pen and paper and your coffee if you need some caffeine hit. So just take pointers of what I will be covering today, right? So it might be a new concept for a lot of you people. So just take a pointers, make some notes of all the processes what we are going through. You can take a screenshots of the screen, right? And all the prompts that I will be using. So don't worry about that. You will be getting after the session. So one playbook kind of a thing which you can try it on your own after the session, right? So that your focus should be completely on the screen for next, let's say, 2 or 2.5 hours. Great. With that, you will be learning a lot of tools, right? So I mean, I have not specifically shown you the tools here so that, I mean, our focus should not be run behind the tools. It's just that how the problems we want to solve, right? What kind of a problems one person encounter and how AI can fit into that picture. We will leverage those tools and cover a lot of use cases, and we will evolve this slide further going into the session, and you will see a lot of tools we will be exploring. So just take a name and you can come back and sign up later on those tools. Perfect. So I think we are on a good foundation level as of now. We are starting with first and second level, bringing all the use cases in front of you and understanding what is large language model. But before going into that, let me share about me. I have not told about me, what is my journey, how my AI journey is looking like, and all sort of stuff. So, as any engineer, right, I was the one who has did my bachelor's in electronics and communication back in 2013 and graduated in 2017. So I was playing around these devices. If anyone knows or maybe guess on the chat, like, do you know what are these small tiny devices looks like? We call it as embedded devices. So one is Raspberry Pi, and on the other side we have the Arduino board. So I was playing around this. I was working at Air India as an electronics embedded engineer, and I was dealing with a lot of sensors data at that point of time. And that was a shift that I made in the data journey of myself. So I started looking at beginning of getting myself doing the data sciences, pursuing my masters, and that's how I quit my job very early. I would say hardly 12 months into the industry, and then went on to doing my masters in AI and ML on Symbiosis. And I mean, the 2 year journey, it was on campus. I was doing a lot of good stuff in the AI and machine learning that was pretty new for me. And I mean, by God grace, you can call it as, right. So I was fortunate to be a gold medalist of my batch and started with my first corporate company, VMware, into the AI space as a data and applied scientist. So I was working there for almost 2 years. And along with that, I was pursuing my master's again in AI and machine learning, deep diving into the AI models at that time and bringing a lot of good stuff out of the company. And after that short stint of 2 years, I switched to Microsoft in 2022. And so far, I've been with Microsoft, and it's been, you can say, a long journey. So, total, my experience is around 5.5 years of experience, roughly, if you can consider, into total data sciences, AI, building these models. So, if any one of you are using already this Copilot, right? So, I'm the part of M365 AI Copilot product where we are building this Copilot capability in all the tools, right? M365 suite that we have. And I mean, team are working on the Teams part of product, so Microsoft Teams. And I mean, really excited from the college itself to participate in hackathons, be it VMware, be it Microsoft. So we have seen along the journey. So there are some competitions, uh, certificates, and some badges which I won along this journey, and this what keeps me motivated to solve the problem and get myself, I mean, my brain equipped with a lot of challenging problems that you have to solve in a week. So that was all about me, my journey, and this is something which I am building on the personal side. You can call it as one of our hackathon project only, which got evolved. So it was started as a hackathon where we are building this educational AI assistant, and basically you can call it as, right, we all know that there is a problem of quality education in remote areas, villages. There are no quality teachers. So can we have some assistant which can guide those students, right? They have their pocket assistant that can answer their NCRT or specifically the school board questions, right? So not a generic tool like a chat GPT, but a specific for their textbooks, with a lot of great animations, lot of analogies, lot of quizzes. Thoughtful, provoking education. So that's what we are trying to pilot right now. And it's been, you can say, we are in a beta version piloting with some of the schools and measuring the efficacy. And if you want to connect more or want to know about this particular app or anything beyond that, so you can connect me after the session. I'll happy to talk about it. So that's all about me, my journey, how AI looks like, what I am building alongside Microsoft and my personal stuff, which is this. And really excited to be a part of this journey, sharing my knowledge, my expertise of training these models, the large language models, because I see the audience. The entire AI space is divided into two parts. The one is who is consuming the outputs of these models, and the person who are building these models and being on the front seat, witnessing this AI, right? Like building these large language models, doing a lot of fine tuning and all in the Microsoft space. So it's really privileged to see how AI is growing. And I'm really excited to make you all uh, fall in love with AI, not becoming an AI anxious, right? I know there is a lot of anxious AI uncertainty in the market, but let's embrace this because, looking forward, it is not taking a back, right? And AI will not turn back. It will evolve. It will going to be a part of our lives going forward. So let's embrace with a positive mindset, with a growth mindset, and learn it. Cool. So the first definition I would like to start with, right? Like it's a Gen AI definition, but the point I would like every one of us to focus here in this particular slide is it is a type of artificial intelligence, right? In a further slide, we will be breaking down what all comes under the artificial intelligence umbrella. But focus on this type of artificial intelligence, which we call it as generative AI. It's capable of generating original content such as text, images, and videos, right? So, I take a lot of sessions or talk to industry experts. So I get this question very often that, hey, Divij, how you can call it as the original content, right? So when we say that these models has been trained on everything that is present on internet, all the data that is there, so how we should call it as original content, right? So the notion here is just take your learning. Imagine how does human learn, right? You will be correlating with human intelligence and the artificial intelligence. So if, for example, I need to give any lecture on the topic that I never studied back, right? Let's say something in chemical engineering. So I will be the one who will be going to the internet, watching videos, reading a lot of resources, and then becoming myself efficient in that subject and delivering something out of it, right? So I have learned something from the internet, learned something from the books, but the knowledge that I am now using, it's my own. The creativity I can use of it's my own, right? Same way, AI model has learned everything that is present on the internet, but it is capable enough to generate new form of text, images, and videos that we are witnessing right now in 2025. So that is the Gen AI, and lot of use cases, right? This slide we cannot fit in every industry vertical here, right? But you can imagine that take any particular niche and AI is making a dent in that industry vertical. You take any niche, let's say manufacturing, right? So manufacturing is also getting a dent of AI by witnessing the lot of computer vision applications where the process, right, the conveyor belt or the process of any product quality is being checked by AI right now, right? There is no physical person who is testing the quality of that product. There are smart AI cameras, visions available to detect anything happening right or wrong, right? So these are just few examples. We can think about it. It is taking all industry, taking all the industry verticals and making a huge dent, right? So we'll be looking on few examples in today's session, majorly focusing on the how we can make our brands in AI, right? How we can effectively do the generation of these AI videos and all in the upcoming session. So just stay tuned about it. Okay, so this slide talks about, right, and a lot of people I tell you have questions around this. I get a lot of doubts, lot of DMs on this, that I want to start. my journey in AI, should I go about learning machine learning, deep learning, and what all other subjects, right? So let me break down this particular slide in a very simple manner for every one of you, right? So that this question is no brainer for you going forward. So imagine your daily routine, right? So what you can do is right now, I'll do a very quick exercise with every one of you present here. So just imagine your daily routine, right? What kind of a data we human produce. So the first thing, let's say you wake up in the morning, you speak to someone, your friend, your parents, anyone, right, whom you're living with. So that is speech. That is one way of communication or getting the information. Second, I read a lot of text. I read a lot of blogs, newspaper. I generate a lot of text by writing these blogs on social media, let's say on LinkedIn. So the second form of unstructured data that human produce is the text, right? The third and the last one, I think most of you can guess now, it's an image or video, right? So I can get the same information from an image or video, and we categorize both of these into same bucket because they are essentially the same thing, right? So videos are nothing but my images rendered multiple images in a second. That's why the term you have heard 60 frames per second. That means 60 images are seen in a second, and that how the eye a human eye is visualizing a video, right? Essentially, it's a image. So these are my all three data structure: images, text, and audio, for which I have these subjects to process the information out. And we have, let's say, machine learning and deep learning for such models, right? And machine learning was essentially when I was learning all these subjects in back in my masters, right, in 2018 and 20. So it was very dominated all across industries, and we have built manually all these machine learning models and deep learning models as well. And the underlying thing is we have to be learning programming language, which is Python, to build these models, right? But now that has been fundamentally shifted towards the AI, which is large language models, where I do not need a programming language such as Python or any other to operate with these models, right? It has essentially changed the game from programming to a prompting, which is nothing but your English instruction that I can give to a large language model and my work is done, right? So it has shifted that gap or narrowed down that gap of creation of these models, right? All of this was possible earlier as well, right? If I want to build sentiment classification, if I want to build let's say image classification, everything was already happening, but all of that was very extensive and only restricted for a person who knows programming. But now it's a level field. You come, ask LLM to do that, and it is done for you, right? So to break down in the this slide particularly, for the people who wants to be on the tech side of building these models, right, building a lot of application on the tech side that they want these models to be consumed, so it's a good to get yourself equipped with machine learning and deep learning as a starting point. But for the people who wants to use AI, right, to make yourself productive, to make small apps, to integrate AI in terms of workflows in your scenario, then you don't need to have particularly knowledge of these subjects or learn programming. So that's a fundamental slide I would be, I mean, breaking this down. And that's how human on this planet converse on only on these three data points, right? Nothing else. Humans cannot interpret any other data point and it is not there, right? So this is fundamentally what we need to understand. And LLMs are totally dominated with the text space of world, right? Only text. It understands text and generates the text. So that should be clear with this slide. And if you still need one example, right, how this LLM is fitting or these three data points are fitting, I'll give you a very quick example and you will be able to get all of that summarized, right? So imagine I'm sending you a WhatsApp message, right? So I send you a WhatsApp message, 50% sale on Adidas, and it's a voice message, right? It's a voice note. So you got the information. Same message I am sending you as a text, 50% off on Adidas. You got a text message, you got the information. Or else I am sending you an image with the poster with the Adidas logo, 50% off, and you get the same information. So the same information can be conveyed through three mediums, and these are three data points for which we have the entire AI. Right? Large language models, as the name suggests, it is only specific for language related tasks, and we have a different set of models for images and videos. with that being clear, let's understand this black box, what is going inside it, and how does ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT is one of the LLM. We have a lot of large language models. How does they understand what human is asking and how they are so good at producing the results, right? So we'll be focusing for now on the large language models, and in the level three, we'll be coming on to the videos and images part of it. Okay. So far, I think everyone is on the same page that we are inputting some text on the large language model and we are getting large language as an output, right? So what is happening at the back end, right? So how does model understands what user wants and it brings the magic out of the chat GPT. So let's decode this step by step, and it's very easy. I mean, it's a five-step process. Just take a name on your pen and paper so that it is clear. Whenever someone asks you how does LLM work, you have this five-step process with you. So I'll quickly do this prompt, right, just to show you that how it is bringing based on the context. So for example, take the same sentence. I want, can you explain me LLM as if I am 5 years old? Right? I want an LLM explanation, not a technical one, but as if I have to explain a 5-year-old child, right? So it understands the context. It has given us the answer, not a technical definition, but it's a like giant talking robot friend who has read every book, story, question, fairy tales. Now, whenever you ask your robot friend something like, why the sky is blue, tell me a story about flying elephant, the robot thinks really hard and gives you an answer that sounds like a smart human, right? So what is this robot? Robot is something you can call it as large language model, right? So it has given a very good explanation that I can tell a, let's say, 5-year-old child, and it can comprehend what is LLM stands for. Now, what has happened, right? How I got this output, what went at the back, let's break down into five steps, right? So the first step, right? First step when we take inside the large language model is to tokenization, right? We call it as tokenize or tokenization, where we break down our input sentence into tokens, right? So you can imagine I have this particular sentence going into the model. Each and every word is a token for me, right? So you can say explain, large is one token, language is one token, models is one token, and each and every word, right? So there is no meaning into the picture. It's just that we are breaking each and every word into small tokens. Why we do that? So that model understands these English vocabulary words, right? Why? Because we have limited English vocabulary words. It's not unlimited. So imagine you have an Oxford dictionary, right? So we have roughly around 1 lakh words in an English language, out of which only 30,000 are spoken in our day-to-day life or written, right? So it's a Google statistics. It's not coming via, I mean, I have not done any study. It's a Google stats, right? So all of these words have been seen by this model and it has been broken down into small tokens, which doesn't have a meaning. But it is essentially used for the model to calculate the cost, right? All the costing of these models are based on tokens, right? Secondly, we are breaking so that model understands which word to pick from their dictionary or vocabulary, right? So model has done this for us at the back end, which is not visible. Second step, we are giving essentially a meaning to all of these tokens, right? So how does the meaning is coming into the picture? So there is something called embeddings, right? So embeddings job, like first understand what is the job of embeddings, then I'll give you an analogy for this step as well. So in embeddings, we are converting each and every token into some numerical vector, right? So when I say numerical vector, this explain is having some bunch of numbers, which can be so long, let's say 1024, 2056, but it's a very large string of numbers or this vectors, which has a meaning to it, right? So explain has a meaning with this representation. Large word has a meaning with this representation. And how does it coming into the picture? Because when we say that large language model has been trained on everything that is present on the internet, right? So it has seen all the text, it has gone through all the, I mean, stories, articles, blogs, everything. So it understands the context of each and every word for what it has been used to, right? And model has been trained, already trained, right? It is prior training, right? We what the chat GPT which we are using, it's a deployed model which has already been trained. So when the training was happening, this words was taking this vector in their picture. So I'll give you an example in terms of sentence to make it very much clear how does this context plays a very vital role here. So for example, you have two sentences. I am eating a delicious apple. I am using an Apple iPhone, right? So the word apple here, APPLE, has the same spelling but have a totally different meaning, right? So this meaning is coming from this embeddings, and both the words will be having a different vector based on the context it has been used, right? So this is via embedding model, this whose job is to convert each and every token and give a numerical representation which have some meaning to it. And there are a lot of sentences like this in our English language. So I can give you one more example to correlate. I am going to bank to open my account, right? Saving account. Second sentence, I'm sitting on a river bank and enjoying the sunset. So the bank here is used in a totally different context. And that's how the meaning plays a vital role in understanding with this embedding model as a second step. Okay, the third step on the input side, right? The model focuses on only, you can consider only important part in my input sentence and discard the rest of it, right? So that simply means there are some fillers in my sentence. For example, we just, wrote on Chat GPT. Can you explain me large language model as if I am a 5 year old, right? I have input this long sentence. But what if I input LLM 5 year old? So model will get to know that the user is asking for a large language model explanation in terms of 5 year old, right? So model has that capability to focus only on the words which are important in my input sentence. And if you want a practical, maybe I can show you, right? This is how the model has comprehended. If I go to my new chat, I will just input LLM and 5 year old. That's it. Nothing else, LLM 5 year old. So it's a new chat, right? So every new chat has a new context. It doesn't have the context, to your prior chats. It's a completely new window. And all right, explaining LLM model as a 5 year old, and now it has a different explanation, somewhat similar, but yeah, the words choice and everything is different. But I got my answer because model understands what the user is talking about and what parts I need to focus on. All right. So we have all these three steps. Just a quick recap. We have break down my input sentence into tokens, which is breaking down my sentences into words. Second step, introducing a meaning to it by introducing an embeddings. And now my model understand what each word is meant in our English language, right? We are talking about just English language, but we all know that it can handle all other languages, right? Major languages. But let's stick to our English language because we only know or understand the English part of it. The third step, self attention, where we focus on certain words in the input sentence and give the more weightage to it so that model understands what the user is talking about. And imagine that these three steps has happened at the backend, and now my model is coming with the output, right? So step four starts with the output. Now the model starts generating the output or the answer that we get on ChatGPT. And now, very quick exercise, right? Every one of you present on the call. So, if I have this sentence, imagine you have a super smart robot friend who has read every dash. What can all possible words that comes to your mind that can fit in this dash? Right? All possible words. Book and bank, I can see on the slide. Any other word apart from this? Source, magazine, perfect. Details, information, article, word. I think you got a gist, right? So everyone is predicting what is coming to your brain, right? Every word that is coming to your brain can be fit in this sentence. Let's have one more example for this step, and this step will automatically gets you clear, and I'll tell you how the thing is happening. So now, next sentence we have is the chef added the salt to enhance dash of the dish. Can you fill in like what all likely words can fit in? Taste, right? Flavor, aroma, perfect, quality, texture, ingredients. I can see a lot of people are now got a gist. right? What is happening here, right? All of these words are right in this particular sentence, but each and every word has some probability associated with it, right? So everything works on probability at the back end. So I have this flavor, I have texture, I have taste, all of these words. But let's say flavor got highest probability, or I would say higher probability amongst all the words, and based on the context, what the user was talking about, the best word is flavor, right? That's how you see, right? That's how you see every time you go to chat gpt, you ask the same question, you will see the choices of words become different but the meaning remains same, right? Like just now we saw that the explanation we have got has few words newer, right? New words has been introduced to our answer, but the context what we wanted 5-year old explanation was same. That's a same step prediction which takes probability into the picture. It takes all the words which have a high chance and pick up from the top pool of words, right? And that's how the models are creative and they take the creativity into the picture. I got my output one word at a time. This is very important to understand that I am predicting one word, or let's say call it as one token at a time, right? Let's call the model lingo. Model lingo is token, right? Words and tokens are very much similar. So it is predicting one token at a time. And if I keep on repeating this step in iterative manner, right, I'll get my all entire sentence back word by word, maintaining the entire sequence of words, right? So this is how the model is generating a response for us. And I mean, it's a very easy, right? 5-step process: tokenization, embedding, transformer mechanism, which focuses on attention, then prediction, and finally response generation. Model generates the entire sentence by predicting one word at a time. Right. So this was the whole entire, I mean, part of how does it works. And now you guys tell me, right? Did you guys learn how does this Gen AI works, or was it easier to understand, right? What we are doing at the back end? Great. I can see a lot of yes. Perfect. Okay.
So,
Great.
Divit, just to reiterate, right? Some of you, I'm sure, by this time are like, hey, this is too technical. I'm not able to understand. Well, this is just the science behind what happens, what happens behind large language models when you use them. We will take questions, but even if you have not understood it completely, it is fine, right? Because this is not, this is for the purpose of your learning and for the purpose of your knowledge that we covered it. But great going. Kudos to all of you. We are not
Yeah.
taking a break now. We will take a break sometime later because there's a lot to cover. All right. I think we can
Perfect.
move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can see a lot of people, it's going great and they are loving the pace. So let's continue that and learn the next step, right? So, very next step, after leveraging or understanding what is Gen AI, understanding what is LLM, right? So, you have understood the backend of the working of these LLMs. But again, right, like we talked about this in the starting of the session, that if you are not aware, right, how to use this AI models, how to effectively use, this is second major problem that people face in this entire AI world, right? So it's like being unaware of how to write a good prompt or write prompts in the model, you will get, I mean, garbage output, right? So it's like garbage in, garbage out. Okay. So now essential our second step is to understand the languages of these AI models, which is nothing but our prompt engineering. And there are tons of prompting techniques, right? I mean, we have included very few of them, but there are tons of prompting techniques. Every researcher coming out with one tweak, one little tweak, and there is a new prompting technique, a research paper has been published. But, right, as said, we don't have to worry about it. If I want to give you one prompting technique that works for, I would say, 80 to 90% of your task, right? That is what Pareto principle is, right? That your one technique can solve 80 to 90% of the major problems with the AI. So we call it as, like, the one technique, magic prompt formula, right? So you can call it magic prompt formula. Some people call it as six prompt formula. So they have a lot of different names, but the effectiveness of this prompting technique is way too, I mean, impressive. Okay, so I'll show you first the output and the working of, I mean, how does this particular, if I don't use this technique and just go to chat gpt for writing this particular task, the chat gpt will still give me the output, but it will be the garbage output, right? So for example, let's say I have this very small task of writing an email and inviting to my workshop, right? So essentially what people do, right, people generally write very small prompts, something like that: can you write me an email for inviting my 10K subscribers to Gen Gen AI, let's say, workshop, right? So if I give this as an input, it will still give me an email and a perfect structured ones, right? But how would you rate this particular prompt, let's say out of 10, what I have just written on the chat GPT, uh, how would you rate this, right? Out of 10, let's say, what will be the one you will be giving this score? So I personally will be giving, I would say, 2 to 3. So I would like to know from the audience, like, how do you use and give it a score? Okay, I can see someone has given 8, okay, but I can see a lot of low scores, right? 2, 1, 3, perfect, right? So I would say this is an example of bad prompt. This is very bad prompt. I'll tell you why. It has given me all the things, right? It has given me this is the structure and we'll be talking about this. But did I mention anything what we will be covering in the workshop, right? Did I mention that I'll be covering all this stuff? Who will be the target audience? Either it is for technical people or let's say marketing folks, HR folks, product managers, design people, nothing, right? The model is not smart enough to ask me these questions, right? So we have to be smart enough in our prompting so that model understand the entire context. So this is the example of bad prompt. And I would say 3 is even more. I would give 2, a score of 2 out of 10. Right. So it has not taken anything. It's just given a template. And some people think it's a perfect. It has signed it up because this model knows about me, right? I'm a data and applied scientist. So it has signed off with my names. But the entire context is not relevant what I wanted. Now, if I just show you the magic prompt formula, right? How does it work? And I'll be using it for our demo purpose here. Okay, so I'll quickly show you how does it look like and then show you the output also, right? So this is how the good prompt works like. This is the entire structure. Now let me do a demo first and then we will understand what is this magic happening and why do we call it as magic prompt formula, right? So this is how we are using this workshop. Not this one. Yes, specifically this one, right? Just a second. Yes, right. So this is now my prompt, which looks like write an email to 10K subscribers, inviting them to generative AI, right? I have given this. Focus on this line. You are an experienced email copywriter who has written for the brands like Ogilvy. Write a launch email, a new workshop at Outskill on generative AI. Write an email to the people who have signed up, right? Workshop is taken by, let's say, Weber. Make a copy top fun resonates with audience with 25-year plus old. What we will be covering, right? Who is this for? It's for marketing, tech, product, design roles, workshop, and include a few reviews that we have gotten from our past masterminds, right? So this is how we have tailored our response. We have given some data if the model already has, let's say I have some attachments, right? And now see the subject, right? Gen AI is taking over. You are in watching from the sidelines, right? A hook in my email has got perfectly fit in. Then the draft of my email. Have you ever feel everyone getting crazy about Chat GPT and you are just copy pasting prompt from Reddit and all, right? All, I mean, what we wanted as an output, right? It's not for just marketing, take product, it's for everyone, what you will walk away with. So, all structured, right? And this is from where our data point is coming in from the data which we have selected. And I've got a very detailed email, and now I am signing it off with my team's outskill, right? So, this is a very good example of how we have used the bad prompt to good prompt. And I would rate this particular prompt. And I would like to know about from you, how would you rate this prompt or this output if you see on screen compared to the previous one, right? So I would rate 9 out of 10, right? I can see a lot of good ratings coming in. So now let's understand, right, what the magic is happening, why the model understand, right? It's why we have given this. Yes, exactly. People are saying, what is this Ogilvy we have given? So understand this context now, right? So always have these four parts, or I would say, I mean, you can have more, but at least these four in your prompt, right? What extra can be there, I will tell you, but let's say these four are my compulsory things in my prompt. So you start off with something called task or role, that you are an experienced email copywriter who has written for the brands, right? These are a lot of big brands, right? There are a lot of big brands in the market who writes these emails, right? Who are expert in writing. And why we are doing this? So we started off with the notion that these large language model has been trained on entire data on present on the internet, right? So it might have or it must have read articles which is published on the web, right, from these companies like Bain and Co, right, Ogilvy, right? These are a lot of good companies, top management consultant firms who are expert in customer writing emails and all. So they have published their blogs, right? So if I just do a Google search right now, can you give me 5 tips of writing an effective copyright email? You will get a lot of articles, right, from the internet. So essentially, we want model to focus on that particular aspect and ignore the noise, right? So we are removing the noise from the model by giving the role assignment that you are an experienced email copywriter. So model has understood its task, understood its job, that I have to write a perfect email like how the people at these companies, these experts write. So this is the way navigating the AI noise, because model has seen a lot of context and we are narrow down our information only on that aspect, right? Then you have a one liner task, or you can call it as the action that model has to take, that you have to write an email for our new workshop on this Gen AI, right? Inviting people. And then finally, the instruction which talks about the context of your email, right? What should go inside, whom you are targeting, what is I mean, who all job roles get fit into it, when you are conducting. So let's say you can insert your date, your time, what you will be covering, right? Entire structure can come in here. And finally, you can attach some data if you have, right? Let's say you have reviews from these masterminds, just attach it. So it becomes a very good context for the model to draft a perfect email for you, right? There is one more thing if you want, the tone aspect, right? So I have these four, but let's say I want to write at the last that make your tone as, let's say, optimistic, make your tone as motivational or inspiring for the audience. So you can consider the tone aspect as well. I mean, this is up to you how the good structure you want, but this is the bare minimum. It should be part of your prompt, and it will solve 80% of your task, whatever you have, right? Whatever you are solving, it will solve. Just have context, task, instruction, and data defined, right? If you need a data point in your picture. And context, you now understood, right? If you are, let's say, you want a startup, right? You are doing a startup. You are my startup mentor. You want someone to take your mock interview. You are my technical interviewer. You are my mentor. You are my this. You are my storyteller. So give a persona so that model only focuses on that aspect and take your prompt forward. Great. Now we are starting off. We have understood the LLMs. We have understood the, you can say, prompting, right? So let's take few use cases breadth-wise, how AI can be part of your job, or let's say in your working as well as in your, I mean, professional as well as your personal life, how you can leverage the power of AI and solve maximum of your task and save a lot of your time, right? So this is something coming from my experience, a lot of people experience, like people, when I say Andrej Karpathy, right? How these people from the OpenAI team use LLM in their day-to-day tasks. There's a very good video on that. So all combined, all my knowledge, everything, we will be sharing a concise summary of it in further slides, right? So we are starting off on the third direction now, understanding few use cases where we'll be demoing a lot of them, right? So let's say I want to compose and reply emails, right? Like what we have done, we have composed the email, but essentially we took Chat GPT for this particular task because that is what we, I mean, it's a free tool, right? We aim for. Similarly, Gemini, right? Gemini is also free. You can sign it up for a lot of tasks, but we can create or draft an email within the window of our Gmail inbox, right? So how does it work, right? Uh, so I can go to directly here, right, in my section, and I'll copy paste my prompt. So if I click on this compose, right, compose button, I'll get a small tab, pen tab here, which is telling me help me to write, right? And let's say I have compose and draft an email, reply to a potential client, following up of discussion about AI driven hiring solutions, keep it professional but engaging, right? So let's say I have given some prompt and I'm not using chat gpt. Why? Because I have to copy the response, paste it back, right? So let's say you want a very quick shortcut. I'll click on insert and my email is drafted within my inbox. So that is one feature where you can compose. But my personal favorite one, right, this is still easy, but my personal favorite one is, let's say I have long conversations happening, right? So something, let's say I'm getting with support tickets, right? You see that multiple threads are going on. You get 6 email reply, 8 email reply, 10 email replies on the same thread. And if you're coming back to the conversation, you have to start it again, right? You have to start from the first, okay, what was discussed. So this is the best feature what I like. I can go to this Gemini small box and I can tell summarize this email for me and press enter. Right. So this cannot be done on, let's say, Chat GPT. I cannot post my this data on Chat GPT. But still in the entire conversation, entire thread, I get to know about my summary of what is happening in the entire email threads. Right. So this is one of the essential use case if you want to use within the Gmail environment. You have your Gemini coming into the picture, and it is one of the large language models that we have, right? Second is very interesting, right? You want to discuss with the LLM something about strategy and marketing plan. Oh, this is, I mean, really a cool use case, right? So I'll show you a prompt and I'll give you a solution on how you can leverage the model, right? The O1 model, and I'll give you the free alternative for the people who doesn't have, let's say, the paid chat GPT, right? Uh, but let's say move on to this. And by the way, the O1 has been upgraded to, let's say we have two new models, but let me use the O3 one. So earlier, if you are on a paid version, you used to see the O1 model, but it has been upgraded, right? A very recent update. So we have introduced these two models, O4 and O4 Mini High. All are reasoning models, right? If you can see here, uses advanced reasoning. I'll tell you why we are using reasoning here in a bit, but okay, let me come back here once I'll show you the free one, right? This is free one, 401, which we are using so far, and people who are using the free version, they will only have the 40 model, no other models. Let me post my prompt here, and then I'll go back to O3, and then I'll show you the free alternative for the same task that you can leverage the thinking model capabilities for this task of, let's say, brainstorming the marketing idea, right? So this is a very complex prompt. Just read it and understand, right, how we are utilizing. And this is a very complex prompt that we are giving in. And how does 4O model will not be able to comprehend very successfully about analyzing and giving the response. Okay, so we are starting off. I have a 10,000 rupees to invest along with laptop and internet access for 30 days. So I have introduced my first constraint that I have only 10,000, I have only laptop, I have only internet connection for 30 days. So this is my first timeline. I want to start a home based business that operates entirely online, right? Requiring me to step outside. I do not want to get out. Please provide me three business ideas, right? Uh, which each slide, like each with a detailed plan, how to grow my investment from rupees 10,000 to 1 lakh in 30 days. Second constraint that I've introduced, that I want to grow my investment into this thing. The business should not be service based. Again, one more constraint I have introduced. And since I have no coding skills, it must be achievable without writing a code or using no code tools. One more constraint, right? So imagine that I have to go through, come up with three ideas which has to follow all the constraints. Additionally, the plan should not rely on running ads. One more constraint, and I have no experience in ad management, right? So for these kind of brainstorming, my Google will fail, my deep research will fail, everything will fail. Why? Because there are no articles, right? If I just put it on a Google, this particular long prompt, I'll get very few articles that have everything, right? There will be articles saying how to make some apps, how to make this, but I have this all the constraints. So deep research feature, all the internet feature are useless for me, right? In this particular scenario where I want to brainstorm. So I want model to think about it, but essentially the 4O model will fail to do that, right? 4O model cannot think, cannot reason out of multiple things, right? It will give you top ideas that comes based on what? Based on prediction. So I got my this idea, right? It will give you the output. That is how the nature of large language model is. But are they adhering to all your constraints? The answer is might be true, might not be true. And what I have found is it is not, right? It will not adhere to all your constraints, to some of them, right? So first idea is, let's say, niche digital product, resale store, right? And ebooks, and this is the plan. Second is affiliate micro store for AI tools and template, right? But I think to make this microservice and to make the people know about it, right, I have to run some ads, right? It's not without ads people will get to know, right? So but it is giving some links, so it is always adhering to 70 to 80% of your task, but not the exact all three, but all the constraints that you have mentioned. Viral print on demand store with trending designs, right? What you can sell t-shirts, but how will I sell without running ads? My still a question, right? So it will not do a good job at brainstorming and thinking lot of ideas and then giving you the concrete ones. So if I shift now to my reasoning model, right? The thinking model, the brainstorming model, you can call it anything. Same prompt I'm giving in, and you will see that the model will go on a thinking state, right? Model is thinking. Model is going in a thoughtful state, evaluating all the ideas. Let's say I have 100 ideas, and I'll be picking up top three for us, not just giving the output as what is best for the model is, right? So it is starting brainstorming. The user is looking for ideas. I have only 10,000 rupees. I have to go with this. I'm not, don't have to step outside. Lot of things, right? See, what is going into the thinking? I am thinking about this ideas. I am thinking a few high margin business with this. Print on demand is trending and lot, right? So I'll not go into the output because it will consume a lot of times, but I'll show you quickly what it has given. Prompt power pack, sell premium chat GPT prompts, right? Okay, this can be done. And day by day plan, the 30-day plan. Second idea is instant KPI dashboard kit, plug and play to Excel, Google Sheets template for SMP owners. Perfect. And the third idea is AI meme merch, print on demand t-shirts and mugs on Amazon. And this is how you can do it on the Amazon, right? I think we cannot, on the Amazon, it is specifically telling so that I don't have to run, let's say, ads, right? So it has given me all the plan, everything done step by step, but going into a thinking state, evaluating lot of ideas, right? So this is the power of reasoning models, O1, O3, all of this as a series model. But this is the paid one, right? So the free alternative for you guys, I can tell you personally, I use a lot of times, is the DeepSeek, right? So you just go to DeepSeek, paste the same prompt, and you will see model is thinking for lot of task, and then finally giving you the idea. Okay, I have not enabled this deep thinking. Let me enable it, right? So you have to enable this deep think feature so that model should go into the deep thinking state, evaluate all the possible outcomes, and then start giving you the three ideas that are very much relevant according to your prompt, right? So see, model is thinking, talking to itself, negating its own thoughts. I will do this idea, right? But how to scale quickly? Question mark, right? Another idea, I will use this digital product. Is this third option? Affiliate marketing. Wait, user said no service based, right? So it has thought upon idea, rejected by its own. Why? Because it's a no service based, we have mentioned. So no freelancing consulting, digital products, affiliate marketing. Wait, maybe print on demand. Alternatively, flipping products. Another angle. Wait, right? So it is talking to itself, uh, exploring all the ideas, then giving me the best output. So whenever you have any task related to brainstorming, very complex task, which involves reasoning, which involves logical thinking, use thinking models irrespective of the generic 401s, right? So you saw O3, and you can use the free DeepSeek. The only notion that I tell people is do not put your any personal information because this is hosted in China. DeepSeek is hosted in China. So use it for your educational purpose, but try to avoid giving any of your personal information, right? Who you are, about you, and anything, right, which is related to PII. Right. So essentially, model was thinking for 1 minute, 59 seconds, and then it was giving us the output. Right. So it's not instant, still it is drafting, but it will get a very effective outputs. Great. Okay. So do you feel slightly better now till this time? We have talked about the model, the output, the reasoning. How do you feel? How is it going on? Great. Perfect. Funny, like, do we need to have a break as of now, or we can
I
take
think
one more use case?
we can move on. We can move on instead of having the break.
Perfect. So I think next one is for the maximum people from the poll that we saw, right? Like maximum people were from the service industry who are doing jobs, right? We will take break after this, okay? Dinner break? No, we will not take a dinner break. We will take a 5 minute break, and then I mean, we will after this session, you will take a dinner break, and myself will be taking a dinner break. Okay. So this is very interesting use case of job hunting super accelerator with AI, right? How every one of us can be utilizing power of AI for, let's say, our job research, for the people who are entrepreneurs and founder, how they can evaluate their ideas. So I will demo one part, but I'll tell you how you can make or extend to any other use case, right? I'll demo one, but you will get a gist what are the steps to follow, right? So essentially, let's say I want to apply to a new job. I'm looking out, right? For example, and I want to prepare my strategy and use AI for that part. So my what will be my first step, right? So I will let the model know about me, right? Uh, okay, perfect. So what I'll do, I will be taking and letting the model know that who I am. Can you go through my existing skills, right? What I have, and then I will be starting off with my preparation for the new job, right? So first thing is to letting the know AI about me, who I am. Okay, so what I'll do essentially, I'll go back, I'll switch to my free version, I mean free model 401, right? I'll attach my this thing. Let me call it as, right. I'm giving you are an expert in data sciences. I would like you to review this CV and generate the summary that highlights the most impressive parts of the resume in bullet points. Okay, so I have to upload my resume, right? So I have downloaded my resume from the LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn has that feature. I don't know if people know about it or not. You can simply download your profile from the LinkedIn. Okay. So I've just uploaded so that model should know who I am, what company I'm working with, what are my skills, and everything from this particular resume. And how does it looks like? Maybe I'll give you a quick show for the file that I've uploaded, so that every one of us can understand what does it looks like. Okay, sorry. I'm into wrong section, right? This is how you can download from your LinkedIn profile what is already there on the platform. So this is the PDF, right? So this gives a summary of my entire profile, what I have been working so far on. Okay, so now this model has, let's say this chat model, Chat GPT has understood who I am, what I am working on, what are my different projects, right? Like I worked on this Giva, Raspberry Pi career and all, and my recent projects at Microsoft, like on the recommendation systems that I have built and the Copilot one, which I talked about, right? So it knows about my projects and Copilot and everything. The very next step is to find the job that I want to apply. So, for example, I go to my LinkedIn, right? Let's say I'm searching for a new job. Let me go to the job section here, right? So, if I go to the job section, let's say, okay, where are my jobs? Okay, these are my jobs. So, let's say I'll click on show all, and I can see data scientist here. Okay, let me say, okay, so for example, let's say I just made my mind and I want to apply to this data analytics consultant Google Cloud, right? Though I'm not applying, but let's say I want to apply. And what I'll do now specifically, I will take this the entire job description, right, which is having all the responsibilities, experience, skills, everything. I'll take it uh, about the job, right? And finally, I'll copy till here. Now my task is to give it to the chat GPT, right? To make or reword my resume, right? Because I want it to have based on this particular job advert so that I can apply uh, to this new job application. So essentially, I will do is I'll paste it, what I have copied, right? And I have to write a prompt in front of it so that model understands about the task that we want to give, right? So essentially, we have learned about the task, right? How the best we want to give the task. So I'll just copy uh, my prompt. Just a second. Yeah, it is taken. Right. So Control C, and I have, right, as a career advisor, right, I would like you to reword my CV. Uh, Reword my CV. I have just given to you. Please tailor it to the following job advert that maximize my chances for an interview. Include any keywords mentioned in the job post, right? This is my job post, which is below. Organize, structure, summary, and experience in the method you deem best to desired outcome, right? So I want it to have the keywords enter in my resume and reshape it according to this particular application. And why I want these keywords? Because there is something called ATS, right? So ATS stands for Application Tracking System, whose job is to have all the keywords, right, in our resume so that our resume is getting a high score when I'm applying to the company, right? So this is essentially taking all the, job advert, reshaping my resume, and getting a new designed version of my resume, which I can use it for applying to this particular job role. Now we'll take it to the one next level, right? Meanwhile, it is typing. I'll have my prompt so that my preparation strategy would align with the interview, right? Let's say what will be the next step once I have applied with the new resume with these new keywords. My next step is to prepare for this job and find the gaps, right? Finding the gaps where I'm lacking, what kind of skills are required for this new job and I am not having right now. And how does a model know? Because it already has seen my current resume. It knows what I know, what I don't know, what this job application wants to have in my resume. So it has all the context now. So my last prompt would be, I would like you to create a table with three columns. The first column with the experience required, what new skills I have to acquire, what should be my plan, right? Improvement. In the second column, the improvement plan, the skills I would like to acquire with the new knowledge. And the third one, based on the priority 1 to 10, how should I go about preparing it? Right. And I want a tabular output as my preparation strategy, and it will tailor the entire experience, right? So for example, this job advert requires 10 years of experience, but my experience is around 6 years, right? 5.5 to 6 years. So I can still make my strategy that it is showing me that you have a 5 years, close to 5 years. But what all skills I need to focus on? I need to focus on these GCP data tools. I have to be working with Jenkins, Ansible with the priority of this. This is the gap. It is finding it MongoDB, right? So all of this is my preparation strategy. How does it looks like? And this is how I will be using, right? Uh, a strategy to make my preparation done for this thing, right? So do you guys want to take it to the next level, right? So let's say we use chat gpt, but one step further I can go. So do you want it to take to next level, the last part of our job, right? What do we do? So do you want me to take to one advanced level? Okay, I can see a lot of yes. Okay, so now understand the chronology, right? We have made our model to understand about me, my profile. I have made it to understand the new job advert, and it has given me the preparation plan, right? This will be my plan to prepare it. For example, I took 1 week, 2 week to prepare it, right? To prepare my for this job role, and I'm done with my preparation. The last step is to take a mock interview. And people don't know that there is a feature in ChatGPT that it can take your entire mock interview. You can practice it. So just press on this voice mode tab and you will see the magic now. Hey ChatGPT, I'm feeling prepared for this new job which I'm applying to. So can you ask me questions one by one and give me the feedback?
That's awesome. Let's dive into some practice questions. We'll start with a common one. Can you walk me through a project where you implemented a machine learning model from scratch? Go ahead and share your experience, and I'll provide feedback.
So I have built one propensity recommendation model for the Azure where we took the customer's information and the model is predicting whether the customer will buy or not buy as a recommendation system model output, and the model is deployed in the production.
Great. Highlighting your work on a propensity recommendation model is excellent. To make it even stronger, you might add a few details, like what specific data points you used, any challenges you faced, and how you ensured the model's accuracy. Can you share more about that?
Great, right? So it has evaluated my response, given the feedback, and given me say recommendation. How can I improve my answer? And all of this you can see as a text as an output, right? So what I was saying, what the model was responding, everything in the same chat. Everything is, and it's a free, right? By the way, it's a free. You don't have to pay for this feature, the voice feature. It is completely free, and the free model also the 401. It is completely free. Up to certain, daily limit is there, but you can use it 1 day, 2 days for your practicing mock interviews. And with that, I told you, right, this is one scenario we have taken. But imagine you have your founder's pitch, you have made your deck, you have an idea, you want to pitch in front of investor, you want to practice that particular session, right? Upload your deck, evaluate the idea, and tell that you are a seasonal investor and you have to grill me and ask me the questions which potential investor will be asking. So it will take you through all the routes of being an investor, what questions you can come, and you can practice everything. Right. So that was one aspect where you can use the voice mode for preparing for an interview and use ChatGPT or AI effectively. Right. So I think I can see a lot of people commenting superb and excellent. So are you guys ready for some more advanced? So we'll keep on increasing the advancedness. Are you all ready for more advanced use cases? Okay, perfect. Great. Let's have, right? Now, the very next task. Perfect. Let's continue here. So next task is, I would say some people would be needing, I need it a lot of times, right? So what happens, right? Like every one of us know that there are a lot of YouTube videos which provide a lot of value, right? Like a lot of podcast. I personally follow like Nikhil Kamath WTF episodes, but they are quite long, right? They are 2 hours long, 3 hours long, maybe sometimes. And if I don't have much time, right? So how can I have some AI assistant that can tell me about the video in text? I can chat through it. I can ask my question. The answer is we have something called Emily AI, right? So this is the tool present in your browser as an extension. So when I say extension, if you are using Chrome, if you are using Brave browser, any browser you are using, just go to extension part, right? You will find it here, extension. Visit the web store and search for Emily AI, and you will get this entire tool. And this is completely free, right? I mean, a lot of text, a lot of chats are free, so you don't have to pay for, upgrading it, right? So this is installed, just install to your browser, and it will be coming as an extension in your browser. If you see little arrow here, right? So this is my Emily AI, and now it can help me summarize any YouTube video, anything I'm watching in. So I have already did this, right? So let's say I just refresh it. I'll get my assistant here.
I read through Google's.
Right. I just have to click on summarize this video for me and I'll get a text version of it. I can ask question whether something was discussed or not discussed. And I mean, within span of, we can say few minutes, I'll able to get what was discussed in my entire video, right? I can chat through it and a lot of other stuff. So you can maybe ask, did, what all prompting techniques were discussed in this video, right? Something like that. So you can go about it and the model will understand what you want as an output, right? So this is very powerful. So it is telling, okay, these are my prompting techniques which were discussed in the video. So if I want to specifically read about this technique, right? So I can go to this timestamp in the chapter and it will save me a lot of time, right? So this is a very powerful extension. Similarly, I can have it on my any web page also, right? So I can have this small icon coming on my web page, and I can tell it to summarize it, this web page also, right? So let's say I don't have a time to read the full article, I'll say summarize this page, and it will go and create a very short snippet summary of my any web article. So this is what I find powerful as well. I think very good tool to have on your browser, right? And your task will be done, right? Why we already seen this, right? Like how Trump is imposing the tariffs. So I just want to get a gist, and my task is done. Great. Okay, let's move on quickly, right? So the next task, right? Next task we have is how many of you are. I mean, if you see this kind of a dashboard and you get scared, what is happening, right? What are the insights? I am not able to comprehend it. So the very effective tool is you can ask again ChatGPT about what is going on in your dashboard, and it will give you a very good summary about it because it has the context and it can understand the image as well as an input, right? So what I'll do essentially, just a second. Uh, uh, I will be having this image. Uh, just a second. Copy image. Right. So I'll go to this chat GPT again, a new window in my free model, right? We are not changing the model. And I'll say, can you give me top 5 insights out of this dashboard? Oh, sorry. Right, so it will understand the image which you have uploaded, this kind of an image what we upload, right? Total account receivables, all the KPIs, right? KPIs understands for key performance indicators, my equity ratio, debt ratio, what is charts showing on, and it will give you a quick overview of the entire dashboard to me without me asking a physical data analyst or person in my team, right? So this is how the model understand, and you'll get a quick insights, very quick insights. And I can ask, right, should I be uh, should I be cautious about any metric, right? Any metric I should be cautious about. I have to focus on being a business owner, right? My job is to take care of the entire business, what is happening, and a lot of other stuff. So, this is how the model will understand that what is happening in the dashboard and gives you a concrete summary that this should be your, you should focus on this part, receivables, and high dependency on equity, right? So this I got that my equity ratio is getting exceeded, spikes in working capital, current ratio is 1.86, but watch closely, right? So it's a very quick way of getting the insights in a very quick manner, right? Uh, Next thing, right? Same use case. If I go to another tool, right? So I'm showing you one another tool because so far we have seen Chat GPT, we have seen DeepSeek for one of the tasks of thinking model. Another tool that I want to show you is Claude, which is very good at creative writing and the coding related task. So this is essentially can convert our image to a real time dashboard, right? So if I go and copy paste the same image, right? Same image I'm saying, and can you convert this to real time dashboard, right? I don't have to, wait for it. Or let's say you liked some dashboard on the image, on the Google, you saw someone's dashboard image that this is looking good. So you can create the entire dashboard with just an image. So you just give a prompt and it will start taking it to the next level of making it live dashboard for you within just few minutes, I would say, right? So it understands that it's a financial dashboard and it will be start drafting it. And once it is done, you will see a very functional dashboard which I can hover and get my insights, not just from image, but hovering over this entire dashboard with a lot of much granular details. And within minutes, we will get to have our dashboard, right? So you can imagine if I like few kind of reporting techniques, reporting images, reporting dashboards, which people have published around the world, right? I can just Google search it or can go to Tableau Public to see good dashboards and mimic the same thing in my this window. Okay, it will take some time, but it will give you a fully fledged functional dashboard, which you can go through and run any insights out of it. Okay. So meanwhile, if it takes time, we can come back here and I'll show you the another one. So let it do, right? It will be taking few minutes. So let it draft. I'll come back here. Once it is done, I'll just show you one more use case and then come back to this Claude one. Perfect. So the next task we want to see is the data analysis, right? So we want, I mean, a lot of times we have this task that we want data analysis tool to get us the quick insights. We have to ask Q&A, right? So the one tool is ChatGPT itself, right? So I want you to introduce to variety of tools. So I can do the same task on ChatGPT, upload my Excel file, ask it to analyze and ask Q&A in terms of natural language, and it will be able to do it by answering your question from the Excel file, right? If you have not tried, you can try it out. But the limitation is I cannot upload the data more than 512 MB, right? So there is a limitation in ChatGPT. For a large data sets, for a large file, it will not be able to accommodate as of now, right? As of this month, 2025. So if I have any particular large data, I have a solution called Julius AI, which is freemium, not entirely free, but some limits are there. You can use it for some part and like this stuff. I think it is logged out. Okay, I can sign in. Right, so it has some limitations, but you can use it for free as well for few insights. But after that, you have to pay. But still explore, right? Explore this. Try to find whether it is taking your needs. It is taking. It is working, helping you out. Then only plan if it is good or bad for you. Okay. So it is. Let me take a new thread. Right, so let me attach any of my files. Let's say I'll upload it. I have my product related data here. This is let me upload, right? So I have product sales report that I have uploaded, and I can say, can you give you can say statistical description of this data set, right? And you can ask any question also. Let's say, how many, right? So this is my data, which is order status, Amazon, which platform it was ordered to, delivery type, what are the items, item size, amount, ship city, and all, right? So this is my data, and I'll ask, let's say, how many orders are cancelled from Amazon, right? I just wanted to know, and can you visualize it? So my task is to ask the questions as if I'm asking some data analyst. The model will go, okay, it is showing me I've already exhausted my plans. But you got a gist, right? So I can just type in and the model will take care of doing all the analysis for me. It's just that I can use this tool if I have a very large data sets, but if I'm using ChatGPT, I can still do it, right? And it will be able to visualize on my ChatGPT as well. So let me show you on this. But if you have a large data set, then the ChatGPT will fail. That's the only caveat. But this is a very small file. This is just 10 MB file. So I'll again put it right. Same question, and let it be uploading. How many orders are cancelled from Amazon? Can you visualize it and give a chart? Right, so same Julius, what it is doing, it can do a lot of great insights on a large data sets. We can use the smaller version on this data set also. Right, so it will start analyzing it and giving you the output. So meanwhile, we are getting the output. Let's see if our dashboard is ready and it is fully functional, ready, right? All our metrics are live here. I can see my total payable accounts, all of this insights, right? I can hover over to see what is happening. Account receivable, this live dashboard, what is happening across the months. And this is how just from the image, I got my data set updated live, right? And let's say I connected my entire database to it. It will keep on updating as well because I got my code as well. So this is my code. This is the live rendering of my dashboard. So this is the power of AI. If you can just imagine from where we have just started and we are building a dashboard with just an image or a prompt, right? And you can think about the possibilities. Great. Okay, so I think we have got it. And now my quick analysis, right? I've just asked in English or in natural language, and I've got my how many orders were cancelled on the platform Amazon, and I have the number as well, 43. Right. So this is how our data analyst is or working at the back end of our use case. Okay, now another task, right? So we want to become an Excel pro. Every one of us, irrespective of the industry, we use Excel a lot of times in our day-to-day job, right? And this is, uh, I have uploaded the Excel file onto the Chat GPT, right? And get the answer. But is there any tool within the Excel I can use for all the insights to get my formulas, not just data analysis, but I can do a lot of formula related tasks, which is there in Excel without sharing my data to these AI tools because of, let's say, confidentiality and other tasks. So I have something called Chat GPT for Excel, right? So this is numerous.ai, and this is the tool or extension, right? The power of AI in Sheets and Excel. This is basically positioning themselves as a Chat GPT for Excel, and they are saying they cannot see your data. It's completely private. You can read about it, right? Just explore the tool numerous.ai and read about like what content is visible. So all your data is not visible to this tool, right? It cannot see it, but it can comprehend it. So now what my task is, extensions, go to add-ons, search for this particular numerous.ai, and you will get that extension in your Google Sheets as well as your Excel file. And you have to just click on show sidebar and you will have your Chat GPT within inside your Excel thing, right? So I'll show you a very quick demo how to use it, but the possibilities are endless that I will tell you. So you have this Amazon review data set, right? So I have scrapped this data for the Epigamia product, right? Where I have the ratings out of 1 to 5. I have this review description about this yogurt product like Epigamia, right? Nice and tasty and all. So I want to, let's say, do a quick sentiment classification, whether the person is liking my product or not, right? So I can see bunch of things, right? So first I'll show you one sentiment and then I'll show you the formula as well, how to generate. I want to do a very quickly sentiment analysis on my entire data set, right? So if I take a odd route, I have to open my Python, upload this data set and do it. But within the Excel, if I want to do, I'll click on this, I'll provide where my data reviews are there, right? So I just write my column name in which review description. What is the column name? My column name is M, right? I have to define the category. So let's say I want positive, negative, and neutral. Three possibilities. Place the result in N2, right? This is where I want to get the results. And as soon as I click it, you see that I have my formula ready equals to NAI, which is the, you can say, numerous AI, right? Short form of numerous AI. And I have the task here, classify the sentiment of this review description, present in M2 as one of the following, and I will hit enter and I'll got my answer, which is coming from now Chat GPT within my Excel, and I can drag and drop to get a very quick results of my sentiment analysis done without taking my data to any third party tool, right? So this is the power of within the Excel or tool for an Excel. People ask a lot of times, right? I got this. So let's say I want to generate a formula to get the URLs, right? I do not have to do a Google search and all. I'll just say, can you give me, right? Give me formula for extracting, let's say, domain names for extracting domain names from column L, right? Column L has, let's say, Amazon.in, and let's say I have a product listed on a lot of e-commerce platform across the globe. I just want to get the domain name so that I can get to know in which all countries my product is being sold, on which website it is being sold, and I get my formula here. I can just copy paste and run on to get this domain done, right? So possibilities are endless. Like the use cases you want to define it for yourself. I'll show a few derived columns that I have made out of it. This, right? So I have data till Y. These are my derived columns, which I instructed the model to generate for me. Which is, one is sentiment classification, as you already saw the output. One is I have instructed to classify, right? There is an option to classify the same review into categories, and I want a categories description. Let's say I'm doing a multiple classification, right? Instead of binary, I want no issues to classify it into quality issue, or it's a delivery issue or product issue, right? I want to know what category it is falling into, why my customers are not liking it particular product, and I will just run this classification, and I got my description whether this is product issue or a quality issue or a delivery issue, right? So I can do a quick insights very quickly. I'll get to know about this instead me telling my team to do it, and they are taking, let's say, 1 week to 2 week to come up with this insight from this 500 plus reviews, that what is the problem going on. I can do in minutes, right? And this is the last use case where I extracted the keywords from my, again, text data, right? So this, you have to think, if you have a text, what all possibilities are there, what you can extract from a text. This is up to your, I mean, logical mind, but I have extracted these three things from my review text because I wanted to see what all words are coming for my brand in this particular reviews, right? So this is one example where you can use Excel as a pro expert, and the tool is numerous.ai, right? So, I mean, irrespective of who you are, in what occupation you are in, right? So these tools will make you on par, make your increase your productivity, and feel you more confident while you are applying these skills in real world, real applications in your professional and personal life. So I would say congratulations to everyone. We have already covered the level one and level two, the basics that we have started. And I hope every one of you are feeling much more confident from the point where you started the session, right? Like from the point where I took over from Funny, you are feeling more confident now towards AI powered humans.
Yes, it's been almost 1.5 hours since we started, and we already learned a lot, right? I can see people saying that they're already much better than what they were. Next up, we have level 3 coming. Folks, can I ask all of you, what is level 3 all about? What is level 3 all about? Yeah, we will get to the questions. Wonderful. Image and video, right? So we have already learned a lot about text models. We kind of understood how text models really work. We went ahead and saw prompting. Now, I hope that all of you will write good prompts going forward. We also saw a bunch of generative AI tools in the last 1.5 hours. Now, we are ready to get into level 3, which is image and video. But before we get into level 3, want to ask all of you, drop in a yes no on the chat if you want a quick break, a 5-minute break, just for you to go to the restroom, come back, or maybe you want to grab some water. All right, Divij, I think we have consumed a lot of information, so a 5-minute break we will give everyone. All right, so folks,
Perfect.
you can take your 5-minute break. What I will do is I'll play some songs, and I'll put a 5-minute timer on the screen. We are not going away from this session, but you can go grab some water. 1,000 times felt. Saw some very, very interesting questions, and once all of these 3 levels are done and the Q&A is done, we will go ahead and onboard all of you into the community. As we got started with today, let me tell you this before we jump into level 3, right? As we got started today, we had over 8,000 people join in. And right now, we have around 6,500 people. So all of you are the true ones that are learning. And I want to congratulate all of you for completing level 1 and level 2. I think now we can go into level 3. Are you all excited? Drop in the word excited if you want to understand AI's capability when it comes to audio, image, and video. Excited? Want to learn how this works? Wonderful. Let's go ahead and get started, Divij.
Perfect. I think my screen is already shared, right? Everyone
Yes.
can see.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, I can see the excitement and energy. So let's start with our level 3. And as like Funny shared, right? So we are shifting towards from the text to now the images and videos, right? So we have to be focusing on the all AI aspect, right? So text is one part, and I hope everyone remembers from our first slide, right? We have these 3 data points, what we human generates or understand, which is text, which is images and videos, right? And speech, what we are doing. So essentially, we are done with text, right? A lot of chat GPT, and we have seen DeepSeek, Claude, other models for these use cases. And this is now the power of AI coming into the creative jobs, right? Or creativeness, where I want to generate music, generate videos from the AI. And this is just a quick glimpse, right? If I want to show you what is the power of AI generated visuals, ads in the industry, in the market right now. This is one example. I'll talk about more once we are into the session. Just let me play it. Great. I hope everyone enjoyed music as well as the visuals, right? So that advertisement for a Jaguar was entirely AI generated, right? So this is uh, how the power of creativeness, creative industry is evolving, right? And the model for it, right? Like we started off understanding the large language models, which is basically text input, text output. We have in level 3 called diffusion models to create these kind of images and videos, right? So I'll not go into the very large depth of these, but understand how does the diffusion works, right? Or the word diffusion, what is meant, right? So diffusion, if I go with the English meaning, right, it means to diffuse within something, right? So for example, if I take an ink and pour it into the water, right, so ink will start diffusing into the water and takes the color, or I mean the water will take color of the ink, right? So let's say I have a blue ink, I started pouring into the water, it will start diffusing into the water. Same way diffusion model, I mean the science, if you can correlate now, diffusion model is model has learned everything, right? Because we are saying that model has learned text, that means model has learned images also. So model has seen every image on the internet. How does a cat look like? How does a laptop looks like? How does a person look like? How does horse look like? Every object it has understood, because we have a meaning of those text or images, right? We have the meaning also. So model has understood now, and our job is to give a right set of prompt input again, that I want a car, I want a laptop image, and the model will go and search its own, you can say, learning, and try to get the picture out. And it will start doing it from blank canvas towards getting you the right set of image that you want, right? That's the basic I would have told you about the diffusion model. That model has learned everything, it knows, and that's why it is taking care of all your high end level thinking, right? So if I go and prompt, can you draw a scientist riding a horse on the Mars, right? So for the model, it's all individual. So it knows how what a scientist looks like, it know what a horse looks like, it knows how the Mars looks like from the space. Now its process is to diffuse them together. A person sitting on a horse, scientist sitting on a horse on the Mars, it will generate an image for you, right? So it is basically the process of diffusing, the diffusion from noise, right? We start from everything noise, nothing on the slate, and becoming a image which the user wants based on the prompt. So that's a very high level description of diffusion model. And now what we are gonna see in the level 3 is we can create images, we can create videos out of these lot of AI tools, right? There are in the market, but I'll show a quick demo of few of ones from where we can do this kind of a video stuff, right? Video agency. If I want to create, let's say, freelance work for myself, consultancy work for myself, and can get paid from the clients, right? So how should I go about it, approaching this problem? So this is what we are delving into level 3 into AI and images, and I'll talk about level 4 and 5 at the end of the session, right? So the tools we will be looking at in this level 3 is, let's say I'll be generating an image from Mid Journey. I can use, right? So this is a Mid Journey. This is Leonardo AI. I can use ChatGPT as of now, right? ChatGPT also have the image capabilities to generate, and then I will use Kling AI right? Kling AI to make a, you can say, full-fledged some short of a video. So let's start, get our first step done. So I need an image as an input, and then I will be needing one tool which will convert that image to a shot of a video, right? So for this, let's take, first step is to generate the image of a, like the advertisement that you want to make. So what we have shown you is the Jaguar image. So let's say I want to create a same kind of similar kind of image or the video out of this particular step. Right, so I'll go to Midjourney. I can go to my Chat GPT. I can go to the same prompt, right? Like I can say create an image of create an image of red Jaguar F pace car, right? Let's say, right? So if I give this red Jaguar F pace car, can you create an image? It will go and search how where this particular red color looks like Jaguar has been placed, right? So if it has seen, the model has seen those kind of images, it will start drafting us an image which is very much similar to what we want, and you can describe it much more. Let's say you want a front angle, right? I'm telling you the full-fledged possibility, but within the short span of time, we cannot demo everything, right? So you have to say, I need a front picture, I need a side picture of the same car, I need a back picture, I need a left side, right side views. So try to generate all 5 6 views of that particular car, right? Get the images done, get it downloaded, and finally use any one of the tool where we can just give a prompt to convert that image to a video, because it is a time taking process, the entire like generating these images then rendering on the video, so it will take some time. But let's say I got my car done, right? So this is how it has generated. I can simply download it. Let's say I have downloaded it. So my next step, right? We will be just showing you very quickly about this, but my next step would be I will be taking it to the transitions, right? I want these car or this car to be working as a transition in a video, and I can use Luma AI, Runway, and Kling AI, right? All of these tools comes with freemium, you can say, model, right? So it means they will give you some credits for free, but if you are using it extensively, you want to use it for extensively or for your marketing purpose, right? Or you are selling these ads, you can buy these tools, right? After exploring. So go and sign it up after the session, right? Like, you know, all these slides, or you can see all these tools name, sign it up, try it out, give your hands on, give it a prompt, right? And whatever works best for you, which tool you feel you are more comfortable with, try to get your monthly subscription done. So monthly subscription will cost you around, let's say, 1,000 rupees. But if you can generate the ROI, right? The main thing is, if you invest 1,000 rupees and you sell these ads or sell these short snippets for, let's say, 5,000, 10,000, you are making a lot of money, right? So that should be your ideal goal, how you want to explore it. So let me go to my Kling AI, right? After image generation, this is how my Kling AI looks like, right? It can generate a lot of good visuals, images, and everything. So just explore this platform. But I'll quickly go to this section and I'll go to the video part of it, right? And we are in the second version, which is images to video, right? So I'll show you a very quick demo of, okay, I got signed out. Let me sign it back. Continue. Okay, so we are on the video section, right? Video from, we have few options, text to video, images to video. I'll go to this, and I have already, tried for a few iterations. So we have already. So your job is to just upload the image and give a right set of prompts. So this is how one of the video looks like, where we give this image and it has converted this image to a perfume mist coming out of my perfume spray, right? So very short videos, 5 second videos, clips. And now you understood the process. I'll keep on iterating this. So our first step is to get this image uploaded. So I'll have this image, right? I can have a prompt, right? I can write my own prompt, and there is a feature they have given, the DeepSeek model, right? This is my car, which I got from the image model. I can use this and try, like, I have an image of Jaguar car, give me a zoom in camera prompt, right? I do not want to write my own or thing. So model will give you a lot of good prompts that you can use it. So I'll use it, and let's say I click on use. I can see the bunch of options here, right? This is very intuitive. Camera rotates around the subject, the camera is stationary, handle device filming, the camera zooms out, the camera zooms in, right? All of these features, because I mean, the creative people out there, right? So who are into this industry, who are video making expert, they know what kind of a shot they want. Instead of that, you're not instructing a person or a DOP, right? The language is DOP, director of photography. You're not instructing your DOP to shoot, you are instructing an AI to shoot. That's the only change. There is no DOP, no camera person in front of you. So try to get, and I mean, with your free credits, let's keep generating. The video utilizes exclusive. Okay. Mm, I'll shift this to back, and if it can generate. Okay, yes. Right. So this will essentially go and start. I've used the smaller model, 1.6, because it was giving me to upgrade. I already have generated. So you can see the latest version will give you more enhanced output, but I have just downgraded to my second one, 1.6, but it will do a good job. And let's say in the queue estimated waiting hour long, then okay, so we are not using the paid plan, right? So it will go in a queue state, but let it be running. Once the output is there, we'll show you. But I have few ones already, right? So if you give this kind of a prompt, that car is going from the back end, and how does it look like, right? So short is like you want to drive it from the front or it from the back, and it will be having some visuals, very small. And now you have to download all of this and place it in some editor to make it a full-fledged video, but giving a right set of prompt, right? So it will take some time. It is in the queue right now. Waiting hour is more longer than 2 hours. So that means a lot of people are using the free version. So that's a limitation of free plan, by the way. But obviously, if you find it useful, you can buy it, and there will be no waiting, such that. Okay, so there are few outputs, but you got a gist. First step is to generate an image. Second step is to come here, upload the image, write a prompt, what angle, camera angle you want to introduce, and it will be working for you as a instructed, right? So this is my two-step process. Like we have to wait, and all of this is same, right? If you use Runway, if you use Luma AI, you have to wait in the free version till the model takes your execution, and it will give you the output, let's say after 30 minutes or 1 hour. That's with all the tools. Okay, if you are on a free version. Okay, so arrange this, all of this in your iMovie Maker, let's say Clipchamp, whatever tools you use for editing. Just place all your videos one after the other. That's how the Jaguar video was: front angle, engine angle, running angle, all the videos stitched together, and it will become a movie, and add a song towards it, right? So adding a song, right? That's is our next task, right? How can I add a song to my video, right? I do not want to add, let's say, some music because I'll get a copyright issue, or let's say I want to sell it as an anthem song for particular company, right? Let's say I want to have an anthem song for Jaguar itself, right? So how can I propose my client with a new song, which is, I mean, all the way new, no copied music from any artist. It's completely for Jaguar, right? So there is a tool called Suno.ai, which is completely free, right? This is completely free. And you can generate the entire music. Okay, I'll just refresh it. You can generate what you want from just you can say a prompt, right? I'll go to this create section, and right, so this is my workspace. I'll just do this thing, and I will write, let's say, can you give me anthem, right? Anthem song for Jaguar car, as we are launching a new model. Let's say have the beats and EDM in music, and it's a sports car, right? I've just described about the car. You give anything, right? Anything you want out of it, it will start generating you the song. You give any description, right? Like let's say we are studying, I'll give you the next one. and you will get the entire song done, Power of Streets, based on that theme, and you will see the song.
Golden street cuts the air. Red lights flicker, catch your stare. Roar of power you can't ignore. Jaguars here, unlock the store. Prowl the streets, the beast unleashed. Feel the fire.
Right, let's see the next one.
Golden streak, it cuts the air. Red lights flicker, catch your stare. Roar of power you can't ignore. Jaguars here, unlock the store. Prowl the streets, the beast unleashed. Feel the fire.
And guys, I can download this music. I can just go to right click, download it, and can use it copyright free. Right? And cherry on the cake, it can understand and make Hindi songs as well. So let's listen one Hindi rap.
दहाड़ती सड़कों पर बिजली की रफ्तार शेर बन के दौड़े ये है असली यार आंधियों को ललकार तूफान से तेज जगुआर के नीचे हर राह करे सेज शेर के पंजों पर सवारी है सजी चमके स्टाइल लगे ख्वाबों की गली जगुआर में जो बैठे वो ही है किंग दुनिया को दिखा दे मचाए हर हिंद दहाड़ती सड़कों पर बिजली की रफ्तार शेर बन के दौड़े ये है असली यार आंधियों को ललकार तूफान से तेज जगुआर के नीचे हर राह करे सेज शेर के पंजों पर सवारी है सजी चमके स्टाइल लगे ख्वाबों की गली जगुआर में जो बैठे वो ही है किंग दुनिया को दिखा दे मचाए हर हिंग
Right, so possibilities are endless, I think. So you just describe, right? This is, I think I described in, like, we are studying about AI. It has like generated AI song.
Through the day and through the night, from all corners we unite. India shines, brains take flight. With a force, with a fire, building dreams, reaching higher. Gen AI, we redefine.
Great. I think we all are charged up with Gen AI song at the end, right? So we are building Gen AI, and that's what we will be on our last slide. I hope everyone feeling accomplished with how you can generate a video, song, all the text related stuff, and so on, right? Uh, so last but not the least, right? So I get a lot of these questions that how I keep myself updated on the AI tools, right? Which AI tool is coming in? If I have a specific problem that I encounter in my day-to-day life for, let's say, any particular task, where is I can go about and search about it. So there is a very good tool, which is a gold mine, right? The website called There Is an AI for That. I'll give a quick review about it, and then we can close the session for Q&A. We'll take a question and answers of all, what you have so far. So this is the site called There Is an AI for That. It's already having around 35,000 AI tools, right? For these many tasks and for these many jobs. So once you sign up, you will see the lot of news, lot of AI tools coming in on the daily basis, right? But I always say that we don't have to follow. I personally don't follow that I have to learn X number of tools, right? Because it will be very overwhelming. So try to get the problems that you encounter, right? So for me, let's say one problem was like when I was creating my content, I needed a tool for creating thumbnails, right? So I just came here and search thumbnail generator for YouTube. Right? Just search it. You will get the tool Thumbly. I'll go to this website, try this tool out, and if it works for me, I'll use it. If it doesn't work for me, I'll try to find the alternative, right? So that's the best way. See your job, see your task, what you need, what kind of a problem you are into. You can filter it out based on the task also, right? So let's say images related task, stories related, coding related. SEO content, right? I hope I saw the poll, right? Maximum people are from the marketing. Lot of people are there. So you want to generate SEO content. What are the best tools in AI? Just go to this section. You will find the tools. Try it out. Which one works best for you and which is not. And every tool, right, in this AI space will be having a free version, free trial. Why? Because it's like new space. Everyone wants to give a trial and give a hands-on. So no AI tool will come in that you have to pay to use, right? It will always be a freemium model. You can try it out and then see the value if it is bringing in, so that they can also try with new customers, right? So music creation, language learning, productivity, resumes, right? If you are just wanted a AI tool tailored for resume, so you have a lot of categories. This is kind of a search engine for AI tool. Come here, try to get search, read about it, right? A lot of news coming in. A lot of people are discussing about the tools, and you can keep yourself updated for the tools that you need in your day-to-day life, right? So I hope that's what all we have for level 1 and 2 and 3. And I would tell you that this is just the beginning, right? Whatever you have learned today is just the beginning. Level 4 and 5 will be taking you to the next level in the AI, like becoming an AI journalist. You will be building your own like AI kind of GPTs, custom GPTs. You will be building your agents. You will be trying a lot of automations, automating your task so that you can sit and relax and AI can do one task for you, right? So let's say you want to automate your email replies, you can do that. AI will take care of it. It can generate a reply. It can send to your customers or I mean, whosoever you want to, right? So this is just the beginning, level 1, to make you equipped with what is AI, what are the possibilities, what are some good tools. Level 1, level 2, level 3. Now you will be building on those concepts of this today's session, and you will be doing some more amazing stuff tomorrow. So with that, I will hand over to Funny, and I hope everyone who stays till the night, right? We are already approximately, it is right 10 o'clock. So I think kudos to all of you for completing this.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Divij. Folks, a word of gratitude for Divij. We will jump into the Q&A right. I see few people help me. Those in have essentially asked, and it will remove the duplicates, making sure that questions that have come in, right? So I'm a doctor. What are the different automations, etc., that I could set up? Or I'm a salesperson. How can AI really help me? Those industry specific questions will be taken by tomorrow, because tomorrow, once you attend the sessions, you will understand a lot more about AI agents. You will understand a lot more about automations, and then getting into those questions will make a lot of sense. So what I've done here is, as you're filling out the questions, Divij, you can also see my screen. We have gotten almost 300 to 400 questions in total. Right? But we will not be taking all of the 400 questions. What I've also done is I have opened my ChatGPT. Are you all able to hear me? Yes. Okay. So I have opened my ChatGPT and I've given it a prompt to summarize all the questions that have come in. Right? So I'm going to copy all these questions. And I'll take a few more that have come, and I'll come back to this if more questions come, right? I'll go to ChatGPT. I'm going to paste all of these questions. What it will essentially do for me is it will summarize all the questions that all of you have essentially asked, and it will remove the duplicates, making sure that all of your questions are a part of the summarized list that it essentially gives us. Let me go ahead and, okay. Why did it stop? I'm going to ask it to retry. Okay, I don't know why it's not working. Let me refresh it once. And I will...
Something is down with AI.
Yeah. Just going to go ahead. Or maybe it's like surprised that there are 500 odd questions that came in. Okay. Can you retry? All right. It's going ahead and giving us the top 10 questions by bucketing everything into these, right? Wonderful. So, what are the best AI tools for specific tasks in various industries? Example,
laptop, saying an order. So there is
and how can they assist with tasks like social media management, content creation, or project management?
okay. So essentially, I think the same task, right? You need to understand that LLM is your instruction taker. You have to give instruction. How you will give right instruction? By writing a right prompt. Now there are systems, right? You have to connect your systems, like you want to connect your social media management, right? So when you say social media management, essentially you have to manage your LinkedIn, manage your Instagram, manage your Facebook page, right? So that means essentially you have to connect large language model to the applications, and that's what I think tomorrow's session is. When there is an now you understood LLM, now you understood prompting, you have to connect to the workflows or your social media, your Gmail, anything, right? You have a connector, connect, get it connected, and you can have the right set of prompt that hey, you need to manage my Instagram account, and let's say you want to reply to my customers, and it will be able to do it. So it's all about connecting the downstream systems with your LLM with the right prompt, and that's how the application are building right now in AI space.
Yeah, and I think if I just pick one thing from Divit's answer, that is prompting. You prompt well, use the magic prompt formula. Tomorrow, when we are building applications, we will also get into a prompting structure called Markdown prompting. That will help you understand how to write system prompts. But for most of the use cases, I have also shared the screenshot of the magic prompt formula on the chat box. I hope all of you have downloaded it. That is what will
the outputs and choose the best one. So for
should someone pursue to get into the AI field? Content.
right, do this exercise.
You essentially open Claude, go into the settings page. Now you can go ahead and build this, right? So I'm just enlarging my screen so that you can see the web bar as well. All that I'm doing right now is I have opened a new tab and I'm going to go to Claude.ai. Now, when I go to Claude.ai, this is the tool that you will essentially be using. If you do not have an account on Claude, you can go ahead and use your Google login to join in, right? Once you're inside the Claude space, you will find it saying good evening, Om, or good evening, Funny, or whatever your registered name is. That is how it will go ahead and greet you. Now, the first step is for you to go into the settings tab. Now, where will you find the settings tab? As I scroll to the left side of the screen, I will be able to open this entire pop-up, right? I have enlarged this entire pop-up, which gives me history about what are the different activities that I've done on Claude. Now, here, I'm going to go ahead and click on my name, which is Growth School currently. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to go into the settings page, right? So you essentially open Claude, go into the settings page. Now, once you're on the settings page, you will find this option called feature preview. Now, depending on the browser that you're using, depending on the version of the Claude that has opened up for you, the UI of the settings page might be slightly different, but the option that you need to search for is this option called feature preview. You can take a screenshot of this. Feature preview has to be turned on. By default, sometimes Claude keeps it off. So if you're creating a new account, please do go ahead and turn this on. Now, once you turn this option on, am I clear so far? Drop in the word clear on the chat. If you are clear so far, all that we did is we opened Claude, we went to settings, we turned feature preview on, right? People who are saying no, follow along. I will also send you the workbook so that you can go through the step-by-step instructions, but most of the people are clear. Now I come back to Claude, right? And I have to now imagine that Claude is an engineer. I have to imagine that Claude is an engineer, could be a human being as well, right? And I have to ask Claude what I want it to build for me. Now, for example, let us say that I'm very bad at managing my finances and I want to create my own application that I can use on a daily level to update how much am I spending. So what I'm going to tell Claude is build a finance tracking application for me that can categorize my spends into multiple buckets like food, travel, clothes, etc. That can categorize my spends into multiple buckets like food, travel, clothes, etc. What else do I want it to do? I don't only want it to categorize. I also want it to be able to give me day end, weekend, and month end analysis, right? I also want the application to give me daily summary, weekly summary, and monthly summary of where my spends are essentially going. This should help me cut down on my spends to be able to save more money, right? That is all that I'm telling Claude. And I'm also telling it, I like the color blue. So I could use that color in the app. And all that I'm doing right now, I've gone ahead in detail, explain what are the features that you need to have. Why are you creating the application? What do you want to solve with the application? Tell Claude everything, just like how you would tell an engineer, right? Whenever you're asking for a product or whenever you're asking for a solution. And then you go ahead and hit enter. Now, what it will start doing is it will first, as you can see, it is analyzing what is it that we need to build the application, and then it will go ahead and create the whole application all by itself. Let's give it probably a minute or two, and let's see what it essentially does. Okay. Yeah. Now it says, let us create a React application for the finance tracker. So it thought for some time, it went through the prompt, it tried to understand, okay, what are the features that I'm asking for it? What is the problem that I'm trying to solve with it? Then it said, okay, now I have gotten everything. Now let me start writing the code for it. So it is taking its role of what an essential person who knows how to write code does. And then it is writing that entire code for us. Now, I am a non technical person. I do not know how to write code. So I don't know what it is exactly writing. So I'm just going to wait and let's give it a couple of seconds or maybe a minute and see what it comes up with. And the most important thing, while it writes its code, let me share this with you, right? The founder of NVIDIA, essentially in one of his interviews, went on to say that I'm sure all of you know the power of NVIDIA as a company right now. But he goes on to say that it is the responsibility of companies like NVIDIA, OpenAI, or let's say Microsoft or Google to make computers so intelligent that human beings can essentially use these computers for, in a much more easier manner. Now it has it threw an error at me. I'm going to say try fixing with Claude. Now these systems are so smart that when they get stuck, they can go ahead and decode themselves, and they can go ahead and debug the code that they are essentially writing and make it. You saw what it did. It removed some of the code lines and it started writing it again. That is how smart these computer models are becoming. And it is also becoming easier for us end users to use these models. But what is it that we need to be good at? We need to be good at problem solving. We need to be good at imagination. We need to come up with solutions for problems that we see all across us and solve those problems with AI, right? That is what I hope all of you will do. So let's give it one more minute, probably. Let's see what it does. It's going and writing the code. Okay. If you're thinking I'm doing something that it's going up and down, no, it is doing all of it all by itself. Okay, I'm going to give it a few more minutes. And as we wait, what I want all of you to do also is to think of the idea of the application that you want to build. I'll wait for maybe a minute more to see what is the final output that Claude is able to give us. Okay. Okay. Because I'm using a free version, it says it has hit the maximum length for a message. Okay. I am going to say, can you retry? Can you retry? I don't see the final application yet. Okay. While it writes, I want to open the chat. I want to ask all of you, what is that application that you are about to build using this? I hope you have thought of an idea, but let me know on the chat box, what is that use case that you want to solve with an application today? ATS, okay? I see Keshav saying ATS. Want to do a payroll system? Want to do a delivery app? Yeah, you can submit it tomorrow. But I want to see leave management app, a daily reporting app. Okay, very good. All of you should actually go through the chat box, see the kind of ideas that people are coming up with. Mental health documentation app, wonderful. A prediction model. Okay, I'll tell you the best part about Claude, right? It also gives the entire code to us. So we will essentially be able to integrate the same application into websites. We can create a backend for it and connect that as well. I think my Claude is slightly slow today, because of which we have not gotten the output yet, but usually it takes a minute or two to be able to give it. Okay, I'm going to say try fixing it with Claude. I love the ideas that are coming in. Stock market prediction model, wonderful. Okay. Yeah, if you have a paid version of Claude, you could do that on that into an error. But this is essentially now, and we wait on the Discord community for people to drop the links, or have you started getting them?
Log in here. Okay, so I'll give the same prompt here, which is, okay, it started giving me results, which is figure out why, goal setting, vacation. Can you show me can you give me in corporate? Okay, perfect. And once I say this, let's see what it does. I'll help you build a monthly budget tracker. Again, it started the process. So even if it does not get right at first time, you have certain window to sort of prompt it again. Normally, when you follow this process, it works out because ChatGPT does not have sort of limit on how many prompts you can send or what you can do. So once you have clear instructions, then you can give it to Claude and it will start showing up. Okay. And once you have the link, click on publish.